Miami. Welcome to Let's Chat with Disco George. My people, today I am bringing you a fantastic, he's actually a friend of mine. I'm not going to lie to you because he's been a friend of mine for over 20 years. He actually's seen me from when I started with the Heat, with the Marlins, and now he's actually my guest here today. So I'm so happy to have him here. Chris Cartwright from Seaplane Entertainment. Welcome to the show, Chris.
Hey, how you doing?
My God, isn't it cool that you're actually here now, that you've seen so many episodes?
It's full circle. I feel like you do production and, just seeing you from a long time ago, big sports fan.
You remember the peanut butter jelly time?
Oh, yeah, all the dances.
Oh, man, it's look, well, now I don't have too many grays today because I shaved.
Right. But I think we kind of switched. I went from having a baby face and you had the beard. Now it's like reverse.
Listen, you gotta keep it fresh, man.
Yeah.
You gotta keep it fresh. And look, check out these. Look.
Oh, those are nice.
Before I was able to see, now I'm going blind.
But those are nice frames.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I'm excited to bring you on because, you started this entertainment company.
Yes.
And I remember when you were shooting the entertainment, the Miami Heat, and you still do, but tell us a little bit about yourself, because the people that don't know you like I do, and because somebody's out there watching, and they're believe it or not, they're gonna be calling you because you know what, they're like, you know what, I could be part of Seaplane Entertainment.
Okay.
So you gotta sell yourself today, because this is a step into you becoming a legend in the industry.
All right.
And then maybe someday you could hire me.
Definitely.
There we go.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about you, because people, not everybody knows about Seaplane yet.
Right. So I grew up in Miami Gardens.
Okay.
And I went to school for video production in Miami Lakes. And while I was in school, that's what led me into like the whole journey of like working for the Miami Heat. So while I was in school, I got the job at the Heat 2001. And then, just building on that, being at the Miami Heat, networking, learning a lot. That was kind of like my college, being at the Miami Heat, learning
Heat TV. Shout out to Ed.
Yes.
Filomia.
Yes, definitely. And I learned a lot, still learning a lot being there, as far as sports, entertainment, just part of the business thing, structuring things as far as putting on a live broadcast, a live production, and also seeing various people in Miami, whether they're business owners, whether they're other celebrities, things of that nature. So I learned a whole lot being there and just putting on shows, just learning.
I just thought of this, and this is the beauty of the show, because, we try and create a flow, but sometimes in the flow, you find an alternate. Are you into the multiverse?
A little bit.
There we go.
Yeah.
So I want to touch upon the culture that you've learned at the Heat. Tell us about that, because I'm sure it's not only the players, it's also the staff.
Yeah, definitely. Like we work hard to put on an amazing show. Like the preparation, I think a lot of people don't understand that some of the things that we put on are days in advance, sometimes even weeks and months in advance. Like when we get like a big time player coming in, whether we sign them or trade for them or draft them, we have to prepare a whole lot for them, whether it's a draft party or whether it's a unveiling, a press conference, if it's a marketing campaign. A lot of the things that we draw out, we sit in the office or we sit in the control room. We have production meetings, marketing meetings every single game. So there's a whole lot that goes into it. Like we make sure that everybody that comes in, whether you're a fan, whether you're a sponsor, whether you're, an athlete, whoever it is, we make sure that you're welcome and you're comfortable being there, you're having fun, and you're always going to come back. And that culture works out with us as well. Like a lot of us don't leave.
Exactly.
I haven't left.
So, exactly. So then that culture becomes part of you.
Yes.
And then you're going to pay it forward to yourself and to everybody else, because it's infectious, isn't it?
Yeah. And even like someone like Udonis Haslem, because he's like the best example of it. Like just the work ethic, like starting from, I guess you say, the bottom, and just working your way up into being like a legend and an icon and considered like a quote unquote mayor of Miami, so to speak.
Yeah.
So that's like it makes you feel proud of like where you come from and what you do, and that culture you can take with you no matter what you do.
And I'm going to tell you a quick story about UD. Obviously, I've known UD since the beginning.
Yeah.
And he obviously would see me from the actual bench, right? But you never think that the players are paying attention to what's going on in the stands, or especially me, right? So, long story short, I go to his restaurant with D Wade. I forgot the name of it right now. The one in Aventura.
Okay.
And he comes in and he's like, "Hey man, what's up? How you doing?" And I'm like, "Hey, UD, what's up?" Of course, he's seen me at some of the events, right. but he actually knew me. So I'm at the table with a big group, and one of the kids, of course, they're like, "You don't know UD." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "I've known this guy for years and years." And I'm like, "Listen, you'll see when he comes back that he's leaving. You ask him if he knows me or not." And I'm gonna tell you, he came back and he was so humble, took time, the humility that he has, even though he's a superstar, millionaire player, ultra Miami guy.
Right.
He was there and he took 5 minutes and he was so humble, and I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. And it's why he's a legend here in Miami.
Yeah, being a fan favorite and being a person of the people, I think that's something that I kind of preach with the clients that I work with, the friends that I have, just talking with everybody and just like putting that culture out there, that work ethic, that structure to whatever it is that you do.
Exactly. So I want to know, what was the spark that gave you the courage? Because believe it or not, you have to have courage to start your own business. Yeah. I want to hear what was the moment that it started?
I think it was a leap of faith, like just having friends around me that were also business owners, and they would have their clothing line or they would have their music studio or their label, and kind of being a part of it a little bit, and then realizing like I can do this, and bringing the things that I've learned doing video production, working for these sports teams, working for other people, that I could just like do this on my own and use some of the knowledge that I have to like make them successful in certain ways. And I think that was like one of the biggest sparks, just having friends of mine that they would have their events that they would do, wrestling promotion, or they would have like their pop-up shop doing things, or they would have their own clothing store. And I'm like, okay, I could do a little something like that, take a little piece of this, a little piece of that, and then just kind of combine it together and do the talent management, the marketing, the events, just all those things, coordinating things.
Talking about talent management.
Yes.
We have a mutual friend that we wanted to give a shout out to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's probably gonna be surprised.
Yeah. A little bit.
Who is that mutual friend of ours?
Oh, my guy, Rigo Garcia. He's like my mentor. He's like my friend, mentor, a little bit of everything.
There we go.
Like I've learned a lot from him over 20 years. I started out, he's what actually kind of got me into like the professional wrestling world. Like his expertise, learning from like club promotion and music and things like that. And our love for professional wrestling. He's older than me, so he remembers like the Dusty Rhodeses and Ric Flairs.
Did you say he's older than you?
Yeah, he's
a little bit, right?
A little bit. But he's definitely like a big Miami guy, big inspiration to me. And I learned a whole lot from him in terms of like business and just like life in general, because we don't just talk about business. It's like just fun. And
I'll tell you, me and Rigo, I follow him on social media. That's how I actually met him.
Okay.
And he is the best. I love Rigo. I see a lot of similarities in our personality.
Yeah.
But he's told me some incredible stories of the stuff that he had to do back in the day to become, the connection to make money in this business, and the sacrifice.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. I sometimes I'm in awe of like, wow, you really had to do all that kind of stuff with the radio stations and the talent, and it gave me new respect for the industry.
Yeah, and his humor level is amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you gotta get it. Like you have to know. You have to know. That's all.
Exactly. So let's talk about Diamond Dolls.
Okay, Diamond Doll. Yeah, she's a amazing hip hop artist coming out of Miami. She does a lot of stuff. She actually has a song that's a Dwayne Wade song. So that's one of her biggest songs that had DJ Irie from the Miami Heat.
Okay.
Has Trina. Everybody knows Trina.
Yeah.
And Ball Greasy. And that's a big song. She's done a few songs with other artists like Tory Lanez, Jack Boy. But this song that she has coming out soon is professional wrestling inspired. It's called Ring the Bell.
Okay.
And it's going to be a big song.
When is that going to be coming out?
July 11th. It's going to be on all streaming platforms. It's a very hype song, family friendly, very fun, like it's very inspiring. Like it'll make you want to like go to the ring and just like have fun, jump up and down. If you're a professional wrestler, it makes you want to body slam somebody, I guess, jump off the top rope.
There we go.
So that's like her thing. And she has a lot of other music coming out, and she's been around for a while, and very beautiful person, very, very animated,
Well, for the next show, we got to bring her on.
Oh, definitely. We'll talk about it.
Maybe once she gets it out, maybe she'll want to come over and sing and do something. We could
possibly.
You never know. And let me ask you, since she's into the wrestling world, how much do you gotten? Do you think you're gonna go huge into the wrestling industry?
You mean as far as us or as far as her?
Yeah. As far as you.
Well, I'm a huge wrestling fan in general.
Okay.
And I have a lot of friends of mine that work in professional wrestling. I don't know if you're familiar with Layla. She's a former Miami Heat dancer.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I remember her.
She's a big WWE superstar was. And my friend MVP, who I grew up with, he's been around since 06 in WWE, but I remember him doing local independent wrestling. He's currently in All Elite Wrestling.
Okay.
And he's in a group called the Hurt Syndicate. Yeah, so he's kind of doing a little more of the managing, part-time wrestling. He's doing podcasting as well. But I've always been around wrestling, and that's also another inspiration, because not just Rigo inspired me to be around the wrestling, but the other friends of mine that are in the professional wrestling world.
Okay.
And being in Miami's a big professional wrestling city. It has a lot of history from Florida, championship wrestling in Florida and all that stuff. So
I remember I would wake up back in the day in Saturday mornings and watch wrestling. I think with Dusty Rhodes. Yeah. I don't know if you know who Dusty Rhodes.
Oh yeah, I have
great
pictures.
player.
Yeah. Kevin Sullivan. I met Kevin Sullivan back in the day. All those guys.
Yeah.
Ron Simmons.
I actually met Jake the Snake Roberts once.
Yeah, I met him twice. Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. So let's go to King Naj.
Yes.
He's going to be doing an event in Seattle. He's also one of your people.
Yeah. He's one of the artists under Seaplane Entertainment that I'm, doing some managing and consulting and things like that. He's doing a lot of shows in the Seattle area. He's originally from Charleston, South Carolina. Mm-hmm. I'm actually trying to bring him to Miami.
Okay.
But he's in, on the West Coast in Seattle, and he's doing a lot of stuff in the community as far as the hip hop. I call it blue collar hip hop. So it's not very flashy. It's not, the glitz and glamour and the chains and the, that's good to have.
Right.
But, he's talking more about like the mental health side of things and, just like working class stuff and, just things about relationships. And he's a really good, talented artist and a good person. And he's got events going on in Seattle, in that area, in Washington, the Pacific Northwest.
And does he have videos and stuff on YouTube?
Yeah, he has a lot of music videos. He has a lot of freestyle performances and things like that. So
so we got to keep him on the radar.
Yeah, he's definitely someone to watch out for in the future. He's inspired by a lot of different, hip hop artists on the underground scene and things like that.
Awesome. And let's talk about Savannah Ray. She's out of Atlanta, right?
Well, Savannah Ray is out of Virginia.
Oh, okay.
Currently. She's originally from Ohio. She's, like a ring announcer, color commentator. She works for a lot of different companies, like in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. She travels whenever she can. We're trying to bring her to Florida as well, to do some stuff. And she's a former, naval officer.
Oh, wow.
So she's, very active in the military. She has like a lot of things going on in the community as far as like working with Greek organizations and working with different women's organizations and LGBT, things. So she's been around, and she's very talented. She's very knowledgeable about professional wrestling. She actually trained in the Virginia area as well, but she's now kind of transitioned to more of the color commentating and ring announcing and, behind the scenes stuff, helping out a lot of the shows.
Wow. So you're like branched out really, really well.
Yeah. We're trying to get like a lot of these artists to, for one, obviously be, charitable, do motivational speaking, help out in the community, but also learn the business side as far as like learning contracts, learning what shows to be on, performing around different people. Like King Naj works with bands, like a lot of local rock bands in Seattle. So it's not just hip hop oriented. It's like, the alternative music, the pop music, the rock and roll, the fitness stuff, so we have a lot of acting, the music videos and things of that nature. So the behind the scenes as well as being in front of the camera. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of that.
Incredible. Well, believe it or not, we've had such a good time, and time has flown so quickly.
Yeah.
What is the easiest way to get in contact with you if somebody wants to be part of Seaplane Entertainment?
Well, the best way I feel like is on Instagram. Seaplane, SEAPLANE_ENT. That's the best way to get in touch with me or my friend Irvin, who is, part of Seaplane. He is the other half of it. Okay. So either one of us will answer that email, that DM, whatever it is. You can also email us at seaplanellcgroup@gmail.com. And also on Twitter/X, if whatever you want to call it, we're on that as well. We're very active. We check all of our messages, within at least 72 hours.
Excellent. Well, I am so happy and proud of you, because, we started at the bottom and now we're here.
Yeah. And we're still trending.
Yeah, we're still going up.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I appreciate for your time.
Always.
Right? Thank you, my brother. Well, guys, if you enjoyed this show, please give us a like. And if you really, really enjoyed it, please